Can a cheap keyboard also be good? Let's find out in today's video, where I will unbox and give you my impressions as well as showcase some of the sounds as well as rhythm on this Casio CT-S200, and I'll tell you what I think at the end of this review. And here we have a music rest as well as the paperwork, the manuals. Wow, look at the beautiful red color. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Jeremy C, and on my channel, I make unbiased, independent and unsponsored reviews, tips and tutorials on a range of keyboards as well as digital pianos. Even though Casio supplied me with the CT-S200, they have not told me what to say about it. I am free to say whatever I want. They have not paid me for it, and I am giving you my frank and personal opinion on what I think this keyboard is. Casio CT-S200 is $109 US beginner arranger keyboards. You get 61 standard keys on this keyboard. It is not touch sensitive. If you want touch sensitive keys, you can go for the CT-S300 for $30 US more, and that will give you 2 levels of touch sensitivity as well as a pitch bend wheel. So this CT-S200 is available in 3 different colors. We have it in white, black, as well as this red color. It is extremely lightweight. This is extremely lightweight at 3.3 kilos only. This is amazingly lightweight. And the sound on this keyboard is generated from 2 speakers on each side of this keyboard, and is powered by a 2-watt amplifier on each side. Although not the most powerful, the volume is actually very decent on this keyboard. Even at maximum amplification, maximum volume, there wasn't any form of distortion, and it was actually loud enough that I think you can definitely use it for a practice session in your bedroom or in your living room among your friends and family and entertaining them, as well as maybe in a campsite when you are out camping among your friends. The Casio CT-S200 can run on 6 AA batteries, and if you use alkaline batteries and with the appropriate speaker level, you can run for as long as 16 hours. Let's take a look at the connectivity options on the Casio CT-S200. On this side, we have a 3.5mm audio in as well as a 3.5mm headphone jack, which doubles as a audio output. We have a DC adapter input, which you have to purchase separately. It will not be included in the box, as this is mainly to be used as a battery powered device. And on this side, we have a USB jack, and that allows us to connect via USB MIDI to external devices such as your DAW or the Cordana app on the iOS and Android devices. What is interesting on a keyboard of this price level is we have a pedal in jack, and this pedal in jack is multifunctional. You can assign it with either the sustain pedal, the sostenuto pedal, the soft, or to start and stop the rhythm in the Casio CT-S200. Next, let's talk about what's inside this keyboard. So this keyboard actually comes with 400 tones that you can access using your little jog wheel here. And you can also apply up to 10 different reverb effects on the tones in this keyboard. When I first heard news about the Casiotone CT-S200, I thought perhaps at this price level, it's like the Casio SA series. It had a couple of rhythms, but I didn't really like it because there wasn't an auto accompaniment section. However, on the Casio CT-S200, it is totally different because we have 77 rhythms built right inside this keyboard. And in addition, there is an auto accompaniment feature you can turn on and off. And there are also 2 variations to every single rhythm. And in addition, there are also 2 fill-ins to every rhythm as well. You can also trigger an intro and ending before and after the rhythm start-stop. Keyboard comes with a very clean fascia, and there are not too many buttons to keep the clean look. We have a very legible LCD screen that gives quite a bit of information, and you can see that the lower 3 buttons here are actually assignable and changes accordingly to what function has been selected. And wherever you are at, you can just press the home button and it will revert to the original default screen. Here we have the play and stop button for both the metronome as well as the songs that is built in here. We have a tempo adjustment as well as a panel sustain button. If you don't have a sustain pedal, you can just trigger sustain using this sustain button here. And this is a My Setup, which allows you to configure and memorize one set of registration setting of both the sounds as well as the rhythm that is on this instrument. Over here we have the function button where most of the functions can be configured, and when you press it and you look at the screen, it will have available for you the different features and functions that you can very quickly access. And I think Casio really did it right this time because the chord detection mode, there are actually 5 different types of chord detection mode. I am mind blown that at this price level, $109 US, you actually get 5 detection mode. We have chord on bass, and we also have the full keyboard detection mode. That is only found if you pay a lot more money. For example, the PSR E series of the Yamaha does not have chord on bass or a full keyboard detection mode, unlike this Casio CT-S200. And for every one of the 77 rhythms on the Casio, it comes with a one-touch setting for every single rhythm where it configures the appropriate tones, apply the amount of reverb as well as the tempo that is suitable for that rhythm so that you can get playing quickly. And Casio has also included 50 dance music patterns on this keyboard from their Casio CTK series, and this is very similar to the Yamaha PSR E463 Groove Creator. And you can see that when I press the dance music button, you can also configure different voice samples that you can play along like a DJ at a club. And you can have a look at the symbols printed at the side of the keys, where it has different functions and features for you to trigger different filters, effects, as well as structure different phrases of the dance pattern. And on the right side of the keyboard, Casio has configured voices that is suitable for that genre of dance music as well. And built into the Casio CT-S200 are 60 songs that you can play along with. And when you select the song button in the middle of the LCD screen, you can see your different songs available. And when you press play, you also have the options of turning on and off your right hand and your left hand parts so that you can play along with it. The next thing I want to talk about is the build quality and the key action on this keyboard. You know, for $109, I was just prepared to have a very toy-like instrument. You know, something which you can get off a China brand, very generic brand that is not part of the well-known brands. But I was really, very pleasantly surprised. They have built this with such good plastic. You can feel it actually feels very solid. They have all the nice grooves and there are just no sharp edges. It's just very well-rounded. The colors look deep and bright and everything just seems so well laid out that I have not even opened up the manual. And we can see that how easy it is to understand this keyboard because you don't even need a manual for this. I was able to operate everything on this keyboard without even looking at the manual. I haven't even opened up the manual. Talking about the keys on this keyboard, I was pleasantly surprised. I was expecting to have a glossy kind of keys. You know, cheap keyboards always have the very shiny, glossy plastic keys that just sounds terrible, clickety, and just doesn't have a lot of tactile response. But I was absolutely surprised because the keys on this Casio CT-S200 is really very decent. I can feel confident playing on this and it's not noisy at all. You can see that when I press it down, it's not noisy at all. And it is actually textured. If you look close enough, I'm not sure whether it will show on the video, it is actually textured keys and not shiny glossy plastic. And the black keys, although not textured, you can see is of a matte material. Now let's take a look at what are the functions available. So we have a transpose function. We also have the reverb function, which I was talking about earlier. We have 10 different kinds of reverb. And here you are able to configure your sustain pedal with a start, stop, sostenuto, or soft. In addition, you can either turn on or off your intro and ending before you start or stop your rhythm. And here, these are the 5 fingered mode I was talking about. I'm just absolutely so impressed. There is fingered on bass, and there is also a full range chord which detects chords on the entire keyboard. Here we are able to configure how loud or soft the rhythm is to get a nice balance. You can also tune this instrument to be in tune with other instruments which may not be in perfect tuning. And what I am absolutely stoked is that on this kind of pricing, we get LCD contrast. For this kind of pricing, this is never ever seen before. And the last thing is you can see that this is version 01.02. This shows that with the USB port that is found on this keyboard, there is actually a possibility for any bugs to be updated via firmware to iron out any possibilities of any malfunctions that's in here. And I really like it very much because usually in keyboards of this price range, once you buy it home, that's about it. There's nothing more you can do about it, even if there are little bugs that are found in the keyboard. I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation, this demo, as well as in-depth review on the functions, features, some of the sounds and rhythm that is found on the Casio CT-S200. So I love this keyboard so much, and I think it really fills a spot that is such a sweet spot that I'm getting one for myself, and you can be expecting more content about this keyboard in my channel.